I loved that girl like she was my own. She was good, she was kind, and you killed her!
So did her father. So did her mother.
What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you another Game of Thrones video, breaking down the things you missed, using Easter eggs and hidden clues that explains everything that's gonna happen in Game of Thrones Season 8. And let's face it, my people, Melisandre's dead, right? We know this. There's no debating it. She says it herself. She's ready to go, but we don't know how or who is going to do it. And in this video, we're going to talk about the death of Melisandre, who is going to kill Melisandre, and how it's going to be done.
I've been ready to die for many years. If the Lord was done with me, so be it, but he's not.
First, how do we know that Melisandre's gonna die? Well, she says it herself, so we don't have to call in Columbo for this one.
Oh, I will return, dear Spider. One last time.
My lady.
I have to die in this strange country. Just like you.
Next is the suspects. Now, I believe that there are 3 suspects. 2 incriminate themselves right off the bat. Number 1, Jon Snow.
Ride south today. If you return to the north, I'll have you hanged as a murderer.
Number 2, Sir Davos.
If you ever come back this way, I will execute you myself.
And the 3rd suspect is the girl who goes by no one, Arya Stark.
I see a darkness in you. And in that darkness, eyes staring back at me. Brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes. Eyes you'll shut forever. We will meet again.
So those are the suspects, my people. Who do you think is the killer? You let me know in the comment section as we go on. At this particular time, who do you think is the killer of Melisandre? Now, I want to start with Arya, and I really want to eliminate Arya. And not that I don't like her, it's just that y'all gotta kill everybody. Arya can't kill everybody. People got Arya killing Melisandre and Cersei and the Mountain and the Hound and Brienne and the Night's King, everybody. Arya just kills the world in everybody's eyes. So for that reason, I'm going to say no. But I'm really going to just not use what I want. I'm going to look at this scene that we just seen her in with Melisandre and Gendry, and I'm going to tell you exactly the importance of the scene. Number 1, obviously we know it's to know that Gendry is Robert Baratheon's son. Yes, but the hidden meaning of this scene is this.
Bodkin point. Penetrates plate at 200 yards. Can you make them?
Yeah, nothing tricky about it.
Gendry will make these arrow tips. We know that it's very important to have these arrow tips in the battle against the White Walkers, and this just shows that Gendry is the man for that job. I think that this scene means that now I am not going to doubt the fact that Melisandre said they're going to meet again, and she did look concerned in her face. But it didn't seem like she was concerned for her own life. It seemed like she was just shook up by the things that she's seen her do, not things that she's seen done to her. So that's why I think it's not going to be Arya. You can still think it's going to be Arya. That's okay. So let's move on to the next person, Jon Snow. Now we're dealing with Jon Snow in this scene where he threatens Melisandre's life, right? Because this is the scene that counts. There's a very interesting shot of Jon Snow, and it's this one of Melisandre of the side view and Jon Snow in the fuzzy background. Now they show this shot twice, so let's listen to it.
The army was strapped, the horses were dying. It was the only way.
You burned a little girl alive.
I only do what my lord
If
commands.
he commands you to burn children, your lord is evil.
Now, would I take the fuzzy background when someone is clear in front in a movie? When I see that, it makes me think that the person is talking about the person in the background indirectly. That's what I take. So let's look at the second time they show this scene and see if that holds any water.
You told everyone Stannis was the one. You had him believing it. All of them fooled. And you lied.
I didn't lie. I was wrong.
You were wrong.
I think it's pretty easy to see from that's the case. Now, also in this scene, Shireen is in this scene indirectly, represented by the burnt stag, and we see Davos throw this stag at Melisandre, and she holds on to the stag the whole time that they're grilling her and grilling her. It isn't until the end when she walks out that she puts this stag down, and I look at that stag as Melisandre's guilt for what she's done, and when she's leaving, she's letting go of her guilt by putting down the stag. So why would she do this? I think it's because she knows that Jon Snow will not kill her. Because it's as Davos said, your God is evil. And who is her God? Where is her God? Well, it's Jon Snow.
Where's your God? Inside you.
And now that evil God is inside of Jon Snow, controlling Jon Snow.
We are standing here because of him. Jon Snow is alive because the Lord willed it.
Jon Snow will not hurt this woman. He knows he needs her to help fight the Night's King. He's just saying this to placate Sir Davos at this time because he needs Sir Davos's help. And you can just see by the way he looks at her when she goes away. We've seen this before. You can remember Jaime Lannister and Brienne and him looking at her. That's always done in a term of endearment. As we see Jaime Lannister when he's leaving King's Landing, there is nobody looking up at him or looking for him. He looks up there and there is nobody. That's the difference. That brings us to our last contender, which is Sir Davos.
If you ever come back this way, I will execute you myself.
Now, Sir Davos has a very good reason to want her dead, and I think that if it's going to be any of these three, it has to be Sir Davos. And you can tell kind of by the framing of this scene. Now, every time they show Melisandre, she's framed in darkness. And then every time they show Sir Davos, he's framed in the light. Also, when they show all three of them together, you can see from this shot right here that the light is directly shining on or around Sir Davos, and Melisandre is in the dark, and they have Jon Snow in the middle. And they're playing like the devil and the angel on Jon Snow's shoulder. Also, Jon Snow said, if you come back to the north, I'll have you hung. Davos said, if I see you again, basically, it's on. So I think that gives Jon Snow a loophole on the way out, and Davos really wants to do it. So, could the Night's King be in this mix? Yes, he can. And you could check out my video, A War of Ice and Fire. I'll have the link in the cards at the end of this video and in the description of how I feel Melisandre and the Night's King play out. So you tell me, who do you think will kill Melisandre when it's all said and done? And if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, please spread this across the realm, and please subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.